akano. I was trying.
But maybe I could say we legislative violence, and then you because oh then it's okay. Inti said you can enya she bibi e wo before ne ba ye.
Then me a cast our concept. How did I end? Me end in the same. Let's we situate it in some. It is not good. Okay. But the fact that it's not good does not mean say you to me you should start term no and find church then you are able to make a point as to whether a idea or mine no essay ye ma ye ni je ho na ye follow that tangent and say and say at the end that was what I sought to do.
Okay.
You know yenti your discussions no your discourse no I say I'm trying to uba a school or researcher it will be a friend of conceptual framework or theoretical taxonomy. And only a concept within which you situate near and that's what I sought to do.
Okay. And Mr. Apiakubi, your school no you're SRC president. I have a lot of I have a lot of respect for him.
Okay.
But
me
per discussion it flow. But partisan politics it does not mean to me flow then it means I'm trying to discussion that's not what I want to do this morning. I'm just stating my views as an academic and near no ye bekana sa near no so will condemn. That's what I want to say.
And ye to asom feel because ono akasa chentimi musa o sa asem enra omukwa no papa be 4 am and omukwa occupy seat no any ade MPP side of the house omukwa tena right hand side of speaker and omo daily activity ne bibia but omo wie no the issue of why no ye majority na why no ye minority ebisi speaker confuse and speaker man confuse obia me say MPP together with the independent candidate una political science lecture sa majority and minority no adi bibi to the proceedings of the house any omudwuma dia na eti bibi free mu a enti abeye dare
again we should be see that
okay
enti no sana ama manfo erezi eyebrow sani awo kan ye say binum call parliament 2 am
me mete for the OT2
kra ebi 2 am I want ebi ko dware ye na I want ebi ko juti opose na say for sani awo hu be prof
ne oba from you
oba from na mo job 600 dan ni mu there
point of fact.
Okay, this one is just an expression.
Even more quantum sana nya we hu bi pen no empe bi ehu biom enti no odi nkan omodi nkan kwotena ade amakonwa so se ne be ya ade NDC for bad na omoti wodeda na the issue about who is minority who is majority. You see madwen say omopekora na ebi nkwotena abonten. You see the force of your argument, you say the strength of the political parties that is what matters. And given the strength no more the force of your argument obey and a debate and send a vote to accord and how you'll be able to lobby whoever is at the other side is what matters. It's not about who is majority, who is minority.
But the strength is in the numbers.
The strength is in the numbers, but selection of speaker has taught you something. Says who to me lobby here. Esan say moye neck to neck nintin. So what mean lobby here? You are able to reach out and to get others to your side. Into my dream definitely there was going to be a ruling on who esan say majority minority a democratic dispensation the balance na fe a parliamentary practices not definitely there was going to be a ruling about when the majority caucus. Okay, and now when a friend minority caucus, particularly when the former MP had written to Speaker Awakase opposite only NDC MPP for a business. This is not the first time. How Yakubu gave the nomination for normally independent candidates, but at one point in time they decided say even though you're independent, you pursue anyway a business. In terms of case anyway by a business in perpetuity. I'm sure saying Kobet Miaka say still a major fin, Ebian Kabama Niama Yaka, but or papa nature say MPP mun etwa in fuma na MPP na na nko na say won't you be buy ayadi into no person ni omuye business it doesn't give MPP 138 vote membership. You see,
really?
No, it gives
so
them. It gives them.
Then let me ask you this:
it gives them
who will chair the various committees? Because, for instance, say MPP in the majority, then some committees of the House, say Interior Committee, Committee for Defense, Committee, Finance Committee, majority and a chair. Then minority a chair, Subsidiary Legislation Committee, PAC, PAC, Public Accounts Committee.
You see, sana ya na fi 1992 besi nani.
Okay.
Okay. Nani di see e bin see da. Oh, enti esan se bin see da no. Ehun sunsuan so ana ehun arrangement a ese e ba no. Eno so e bin mada. Enti no I expect the political parties no say senior omo neck to neck no. Omo ankasa they know how to dialogue among themselves behind the scenes. Omo beye ni omo beye o parliament ni na ye henya. Omo pon omo akuchiechi omo akwa we si oni sika ko de fa to petrol gu ni car ma we be manage omutumi yesa wo hye omo bia na me be coordinate program e friend Ghana Political Parties program na omo ba ye hye omo meeting every month wa yi secretariat na wo hwe senior political party officials omo ya na wunya kra nka o de camera e be si omo so aye nti no they know how to dialogue among themselves. So in determining who must be the first deputy speaker now. Once NDC for a winning at the speakership no anka omu ananka so omu determine the first deputy speaker by convention senior ya na fi 1992 no anka NDC for nanka say determine e ba na say na MPP for determine it means omo kasai and omo ti omo ho ase
omo che
so omo kasai
na negotiation
course ntino in constituting the various committees no I want to believe that they would negotiate and talk to themselves because they say you know obie ni ho say MPP for 137+1 it doesn't give them that overwhelming strength to be able to bulldoze their way around. They would by all means will have to dialogue with the other side, and through dialogue you know, some of these issues you know, will be resolved in a manner that would also set a precedent for it. Because I told you, see, in the lead up to the elections you know, we had done some private research and we knew how this was going to go. Okay. President Nana Akufo-Addo na nkofo penasem. Pa. Enti na ekoyesa. But we are going to also have a friend is saying it is possible we're going to have another election. A party will win the executive presidency and have this time clear minority in parliament. And also do so amobede. So we must begin
now
to...
your constitution doesn't make room for that.
Well,
party are winning executive, not presidency. Now, no obenya minority. I'll be appointing the ministers, chairing of the committees, and how will the country be
the
governed?
Constitution was made for man. You see, the era of constitutionalism should not usher us into a regime of robots. The fact that constitution was a do crisis be more. Not yet to me. So we are. It is going to happen. So Ghana for it to me at Baseni or Motoye in the last election. I am anticipating that one day you may get a president who may be affable and liked by Ghanaians, but the MPs, you know, because the way the MPs, you know, we are MPs, Obenya minority. When that happens, there should also be dialogue. Okay, nothing prevents a certain president from crossing, reaching out to the other parties in opposition and giving ministry appointment. They be ana me can say, yes, sorry, you say Ghana and in Malaysia, independence, the same idea around the same period, and so Malaysia it developed as in Ghana and as for Adebakwa to the be a nipa bebre enim and say. You see, in Malaysia, one leader was able to rule for close to 20 years in a democracy. Okay. But how did he do that? He knew how to form complex alliances with the opposition. Unim kwanya amba faso akase o ade me ho nso entino yemhwehwe ye ne opposition for no end dialogue. After all,
and probably their constitution allowed
political
that.
Parties deputy political debi mbribium se na Akufo-Addo okasem bi our forum be asma meti when we are calling for constitution review. I see the constitution may have challenges, but he believes that near the one who is operating or working the constitution anu ne hia. Oh, so we know ni papa so constitution was challenges to me working in such a way that you wouldn't exploit loopholes to suit whimsical advantages and so forth. And you know,
there's nothing in the constitution that says that a president who has won an election ought to me appoint a minister from anywhere across the political divide. There's nothing there like that. Okay. I'm thinking that they would be able to dialogue and they will be able to discuss issues and determine the membership and composition of the various committees. I know the sure say
thank you. Honorable, and now call for your time. I mean, House of Parliament.
Media me call 9:45 near city at 10.
One call 4 a.m. maybe.
Media me TP Adria, Pinam Cosi, a baby, a me co 2 a.m. co transi. In fact, same Nanti Wim. Okay. Nanti be qua. Say now, feel say, Bia, a besa could share same challenges in the but now me so me very convicted maybe.
Oh, you are sure?
Oh, Naminim say, and Comodibia Coso near there. We're getting close to normalcy. Naminim say, media Naminim say, bedroom baby, sunny way. Some concert with me now. Sometimes a CEO say, media animal fans say, comic relief. A do baby name as an idea. Oh, says stress never honor. Do baby say a good day can from man.
Oh, I want to very serious.
So him said the yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nyagro. Say agro. Intimidate William said at the end of Tuesday.
Tuesday, we are sure say NDC side, we pack now, baby, or what's not run.
Sorry, see in the Cremo.
Oh, sir.
Okay. Now, me person me sound correction kakrebi. Prof no say amantin media BTS empo.
Okay.
Media me work school. Na me tampe
as I say market we.
Let me correct you. Na me tampe library. Enti classroom pa there. Because Mr. Nami as president you can.
Lost students are on library.
Look, we mind in the chilo. Me the cases bear 20 from a lecture gumitrim. Abraham ko book. Enti metie de okan ni nyina na me so menye propaganda. Wo dey tembia no akase bia no. Who say me dey. In the practice of law is very jealous profession. To be free pena wo say no. We are diligent no obey expose na ho chiro ti menye sa. Senior prof kan lobbying no advocacy no and the best your strength. The quality of your argument and the double quenim.
Okay.
And yeah, the strength of your shoulders.
Okay.
So, and I like where we are getting to because now we have to listen and discern from the advocacy what is right.
We need one.
Yeah, Tiff House in Moninano. Obi Kasa Tieno. Na superior argument would be defeated.
Okay.
Now, yes, what the career be kwa kache zetnase so
but votes be
na votes no so be mu Ghana ye koye ni mu ma yen discredit yen ho ye started from we no go sit down eni abedu now kan wo de na so mi kam de enti we no go sit down spirit no it doesn't die away overnight eni nti obi ho no mu a wo se me ye MPP ni no me ye MPP ni akoya twese ka akora ko NDC ni a me ye MPP ni me ye NDC ni no me ye NDC ni we are going to nyina kura me NDC ni but gradually no we are moving because the baby say ade we dey enye and notwithstanding baby am free no me nka de enye no eno na me bom pa say ye bedru ho
ya check eno na ya
check but it is better to traverse slowly and carefully than say ye be jump.
Okay.
Eniti na lobby no e wo ho no.
Okay.
Ti lobby no say mini passport nyo bia na lobby na be yi o. Ebi o ho no mu a o ka say and say Ghana no the me bompa and say yen grow a class of statesmen more na grow and cover the partisan class no oh say me MPP ni me NDC ni na ye create say it doesn't help the development of the nation na mo class of statesmen no thinking of Ghana first no notwithstanding baby a ugina politically no but who said the enye the say ye na ekue nim ye bekue nim na sad ye we no ya na plenary no na sa differences it manifest see eko committee no ye NDC MPP for the eko committee no the same attitude no the committee no ye boa committee report no e ba no ye nyina ye contribute ho de obi aka na dwen o.
Okay.
Issues ne wo ho no ne bia bill bia de ba ye ko consider committee no enti ye di report no be ba no na eye collective position eye committee no dey ba enye NPP na NDC for issues ne dey ba ni ye ba plenary no so a yenya committee members no ye be defend the position na ye nyina ye take ye there are a few cases who say if you member of a committee about be oppose position we are not unfortunate but basa akra other committee members no and when you say na mfa ho say we were in this we were in PG be defeat be a attempt to undermine the work of the committee no any the intensity but isi sakra we correct ourselves and it is a subano the work committee no ya the ba plenary no but ebedu ho na se ne yeka no say abusuafo bia no yesuba no ekonu nyina na esisa towards ye nyina expectation enti president Kufuor shall be say all inclusive government no ema ewura Dr. Papa Kwesi Ndum ebeka Kufuor hu na onye MPP ni no CPP if you remember na papa no so ye bladwuma in the government no the tail end of it na manfo ye uncomfortable with ono ankasa campaign say yensisem against a government that he was part so na no
but obviously say he was part but he wasn't from that political party
yes but
once
you are part of the government no now see yensisem government na anyade no na a compromise position say wo na ye part say na wonim bibia na enko yi a as a member of that government why did you not correct it or point it out now konya say say de yenyi aban no na wo ka hu no free ho na yemfa aban fufuro bi mra because omo anya de eno na eno ne warning yewra matemidu ye be appoint ye nyina ye bo president Basupa say there you see looking for competence rather than loyalty ya na eye emekwa enim enti ne nyina bo president Abasu but actors no could do baby na ayesa antagonistic but na afi enti ayesa my political leaders ye careful say say mafakwa we so in the interest of Ghana na obi fakwa we so na the sentiment for eba na teacher afo so ka say so ko fakwa we be shemu but I want to pray say yeah resolute in that line of development na who says obi o competence o ha na say obetimi ye adwuma no a ye ko fara no ma adwuma no for all of us enye say o party nko first and foremost the country no na ye nyina esum no ansa na yakosum your political parties and for districts or constituencies enti what is good for Ghana no say manaka
ba mi musa say fie ho adwuma no
talent bi o hopa na ya kana sha tam no ebeba say ibunya kwa no na the strength ni ho o de be talent enti say who it is a football who player bi o Chelsea no e good na o Liverpool na pe no for your strategy kokofa no enti san necessity but we are getting there
when political parties are differences in ideologies ninti ya na e man here dey say nipa me kofa na be bi a on share in my ideology
no
obe sabotage na so obe boa ma me de na koso
we don't build walls around ideologies a construct manage direction peseko direction is the same destination is the same development
yes
na ideology no na ya na me strategy ni manema de ko any policies ni ade but so what Ghana politics ideology no say no enye as strict as it used to be tama nkruma ni buzi an mo no socialism ni and even general world politics socialism ni capitalism no they say interpretation the because your government socialist policies and now pro people policies are the government here more than pro people policies are e be NDC I say a socialist movement no e diaba no enti socialism
capitalism ideology you are confused with your ideology or you are digressing.
Yes, confusing ideology grow and it grow into different directions na grow nso na ebi a include enema bi a ɛwɔ the other side ɛyɛ hwɛ sɛ free maternal care for example President Kufuor by socialist policy but drume bi a utimu sɛ okoba bi a enipa ebre esese yenya relief bi ɔde abeka ho eni ntina ne capitalist ideas no wato atwene na no free market ideas no to ntwene but free market na kasa nso grow widen up to include also concept bi
I see that should be a media ideologies no come but see we are still back in the parliament house say now that more together with the speaker na more majority a independent candidate second deputy speaker and have you thought of it say ada or sitting in as the speaker and then there's something you need to vote on or you need to vote on now ebeko saying na mamu
yes very well before I get that one there is something Prof can say lobby no be provide direction and sometimes but there were rules of parliament say ye leader and leaders of committees and the rules of parliament 2000 and the idea
okay
there's one for 2020 and like say you passing it me a rules of engagement now unfortunately no last parliament in 70 yentimi am pass
okay
and it is a micro bidam KMCC and no ya chichama ya kwakwe say bia a bit my amendment near there and no na ebegina so na sa say we there you use old one 2020 there no na 2000 there no 2000 there no kire say majority group no and a be appoint chairman except public accounts any legislation committee
a subsidiary legislation
committee no and by the rules those are the leadership minority party no now new one
no the opposition party
no minority party
you see that's the problem because you see
parliament you need opposition party you need government party your majority of the house
at the party honum na NDC so beka say no because and they use the group
the
minority group
the speaker here no he was careful
very careful
the okay no that is the situation one can say MPP were majority and as we stand no you cannot say MPP or majority, but the majority group no includes MPP members and the independent candidate. Right. And I'm going to so enya dia ene fufuro. I see that. Then na prof kan 2009 PNC CPP independence omo obia ya alignment obia ko baby. Na ukona nya numbers no then you become a group a majority or minority.
Okay.
Not a party.
Yes, so, that is the emphasis, not a party. A majority group of caucus and a minority group of caucus.
I'm happy to say minority leader or seek clarification.
Okay.
And the papa no repeat the okay and say, one can say, na me can say group. Oh, say no, any party BO. Aye, a kabomu.
Okay.
And in 2009, I'm say, how a number MPP. And maybe and I win PNC for so called NDC.
Yeah.
And an independent big NDC.
Okay.
So they went to form another group, not NDC as in leadership.
Okay.
But a group in majority. And here can see idea using the old rules, no majority group no facility leaders of committees.
Great. Sabre say ye dane ye ho kakra nka prof ne bebem ba mesen say no ndu abonti o ma ye nko quick break emra na ye ko break ne ba na afi ye de nkomo no de aka no ato aso ye timi atemra hye be fie die no afri ho a ene na de aka mu quick comment on election petition ene ho ensem enkanka nra na bi mo lebo judges ni bi say they were appointed by certain regimes e bi say it is not healthy if the judges know omo ankasa o madwe omo conscience any ade a omo de eye adwuma and then can they meet the 42 days deadline no ana eno se nkomo ibedi ansa na afa ya ba behwe ministerial portfolios no de ye merge de ye dissolve any de ye realign ne keka so anti wadaroma try critical issues you try hutia ye basisia
say nsɛm a yɛka yɛ Ghana nsɛm.
Yenko. Abijan for ya mamu mo se mo nya bra twan me adan ho akwaba so critical issues ya kan emrahye be fie die na ye critical asem kopem enure no kra speaker kasa wie no na da so aye critical ema ebi mo no nanso wasen acheche mu se mo antimase. I said say NPP together with the independent candidate and oye omoye majority group, and group was his word. Enti eno no ansem ba ko eno so ye critical if we bina there konso e be ba beji hini pa na kakre be di anim no ye betena se aka ho asem election petition eno so ye petitioner ye Owura John Dramani Mahama na two respondent. First respondent ye EC, second respondent President Nana Dankwa Kufu Addo ya wada no omukoye pre-trial hearing and answer omukoye amendment of motion no amendment of motion ena omokoye na nyame adoma ebinada mom en wonu ebeye testing mic 1 to pre-trial hearing no now enra ye tetetete ya nenam the one crata ne nwuma ne bi mu se petitioner ne lawyers ni bi ne kasamafo ni bi ahyase pinpoint a George fo ne ye nson na nson no we musi ni omu ani ni ye they were not fair to them case ikromu nya nhyase ni ye enti wan na enye fair emma hwan ena omu san say we na appointee we na appointee we ti enye well constituted wo omani so ni wo mo adwem. Until now, ye busa say ye chase na ye doso a George phone say ya ebema healthy na ebeboa wo assembly na ekoso na one more ankasa so George phone ma ye say ana court ba tan ma nefu aduana mienu 42 days by which wonum ede ehum waye ebeba betu ye na chese ebehu said the case ne beko said the afei na womo ebe pre-trial hearing say wotwe mu anka pe womo calendar no de nke wo say enura no na nka womo fiti pre-trial hearing ase enso akobena day 42 days deadline no womo betumi ana we nso ebetwen akọ animo kakra enti this is the second issue ye kan ho asemansane yaba the final one ministerial appointment and the list. Prof ye ko break na wo necessary nka wo ba enti general observation about election petition and name a few two questions.
Well, election petition we've decided to go that route again. 2012 after that election Niama bi ekoso na yes basabasa okay obra sport niama ekoso no party na edi nchono decided say ombeko court na yenya 8-month election petition we nso no yehu say yeto abawie no basabasa yebi ekoso miamia bebre ultimately the political party involved na decided say ombeko court na omako hwehwe nsemu na omahwese ne abeya court adiye ebetuye eyema democracy you see say yenyin we are maturing elsewhere there will be guerrilla war obi be kase I'll make the nation ungovernable na obeye omone nkofo be ye niema tutu asem bebre
na ye call demonstration wa demonstration no cry peaceful and can be constitutionally guaranteed right but to the be na demonstration ss near my near ma e prepare bi no na asefo eno to make course sa na eno de menye sure say ade a eboa enti if political parties decide so make court na on resolve issues na I think say ne kwan so na o can be say yes say nkofo bi start point finger say judges will be na appoint ne na se for
regime appoint judge bia
it doesn't really make sense the chair say a political appointment in heaven onyankopon appoint judge well eye onipa enne de appointment ebema onipa where there is vacancy enti no bisa me won say bra e bia vacancy ebeda Supreme Court ho no na nipa kra na oye president no so appoint no nka onye den onfa sa appointing power no nsidi ma opposition party leader na nka say wo appoint ya na mra pomo no
na nka de na opposition chance nka chief justice or panel judges no on this particular case ke wo say o hwene balance bia regime appointed we regime appointed we kind of
oh well minim na enti a all kasa de minim say in 2013 election petition minim say no mo 9 this time omate so aba 7
yeah.
And there are 2 judges bia na say doche ne ba ku bia na omoka 2013 election petition no
okay.
Na me madwim no me feel senka given the experience with election petition nka ye de omo beba on board but the chief justice decided say of the nkofo foforo ebeba say this time mba wo ye so mo ye me 2013 na omo ye miensa en na sefo I believe say I'm not in the position to question the discretion of the Chief Justice. Well, but near media here me say this is an excellent opportunity for the judiciary to acquit itself and then also to rebuild the sort of image and trust deficit now. I say nkofo bebre wo Ghana ha I say omuntumi nje judges no endi papa omugidi a ewo mu no ehwan na de bia na meka se
even at the Supreme Court
level nkofo bebre oni binum kasa hwe edu ayi bra na yeto aba no wie ya na nkofo bi di tutra 7 no wo hia omo na ka chom se momfa mo asem kokota omo response no ase wo ka chom se omo mfa asem kokota ase wedi omotam maybe so be say na then you can say mon fa some kokota na as I feel say it's even insulting for us to advise that you go to cause then na momo dey ahye court ho a enti mo say yenko a nti wo hwe answer no omugidie e wo court process no mo na e wo form but the point is that at the time my year 2013 election petition no so no obi nso betumi aka say na won e court no so e bia omo speech aka say mo so no omugidie e den e wo form anase but that is not for me, that is not the issue. Okay. Me feel say the judiciary itself has at the moment is at the moment undergoing some trust deficit among a segment of the citizenry. Now this is an opportunity for them to show that you betumi akoso e de ere aide asho mu dey say oman mu wo all agents of restraint and all agents of conflict resolution, they have been deficient in delivering on their mandate. So, it does say, omo sini, omo to me share, omo to me, omo to me guard, powers ni intino, omo de akoye omo kwan emma to me no mato no asaram.
Okay.
Until we share BBT is a National Peace Council, a very credible organization and a conflict resolution as a franca, especially on bedi mutinti mind. But we share public sentiments about MPC now. It's an impression. There's an impression say and go for GD omo. We share a software and can you feel say eye eto apintin na se de bi aba oye ne bi aba basa ye bi aba anka wo feel say nka asofo na nka bi ye be kase san say ye mu bebre 70% of the Ghanaian citizens we are Christians ntino anka asofo nso betumi ade akasa na anka ya te mente me ho ase bi na anka asete but asofo ne bebre nso so eye partisan politics ahemfo in the lead up to 2020 election what is na make say constitution ban chiefs from doing active partisan politics and I defined what I mean by what is meant by active partisan politics ye kan say ahemfo so omontwe omon film esan say omono they are agents of unity
okay
enti no wo personal baby a wo di wo hen no NDC for e wo ho MPP for nso ye den e wo ho oh enti no ense say omo ye den omo ye there is a study that we undertook chiefs and electoral politics in Ghana's Fourth Republic. We cited several examples in Niama eto ahemfu binum bra omo ye so mbe partisan politics and na akwa sapon bribi 1996 yeto aba NDC for a winning election ko for corner himfi ekọ ham na abo na omo de etoto bono adanti e feel say okodi party bi echi na sefo ye feel say sankofo no omo gina simpie bi a amanfo buo a wo omo no eso enti se eye gidigidi a ahene ohene frewa etumi resolve asem ena nkofo bi nso a mo frɛ mo ho celebrities ne actors ne actress esan so omutrade no it appeals to all across the political divide in a developing democracy. You see, okay, America, a celebrity can decide to pitch camp with Democrats or to pitch camp with a friend saying Republican. Omo Democrats na kwenim. Enti no say ye hu se me NDC ni ana me MPP ni a it does not prevent me from assessing
Omatiase by yen so afei
enti no say wo de won kodon party A party B mfa obo ne nche wo da wo na afei ekoye sanso a oman no se basa ye bi simu a na wo ka se resolve a anka first no nka won se football na unite yan pa enti no ofo se ye ball pa na football unite na se basa ye bi na Black Stars captain abeka se me pa mo show adwubrewa essence football unite enti akoma to yem but when nyina no omum bebre no take side enti in my view no the only institution aka SSC dey reassure mu no ane ye courts
okay
courts no na aka me feel say SSC ye dey reassure mu na ye ntumi emma nkofo nso gidi wo mu na ye den enhwan enti no ye nti ase say obi na so appoint obi somebody must appoint somebody at all costs what here ya wo ye wedwume obi na ama o job oma appointment ntina wa appointment no onya nyankopon na true job description na appointment letter MOB even oye osunsu mu ko de fa nipa so ntino somebody will appoint somebody anyway but nipa ye ba appoint no or duty say obey carry the mandate no in line with the constitutional imperatives and on ankasa oath of office. Let me tell you, as for politician dear, obe per se obe influence as for politician dear, once I appoint on obe per se obe fa kwan bi so na nka bia omo be nyawo to their side na se for but you have a duty to handle your mandate in a manner that agrees with one kasa oath insi a wudi ye say obeye we adwuma yi no na fe sani a constitution no ema o independence no ya me ye hu ne say as o man mu eto de bia mpacho say otie mi eto de bia na appointment no eto de bia political appointment no otie o eto de bia political appointment aye no it sidesteps meritocracy and say obi wo ha
yes nipa no betumi aye ne ye ma no
obi wo ha ye nyina aye wo adwumam ye miense nyina aye wo adwumam e bia many senior wo adwuma vacancy bi abeda ho kwan bi abeda wo say appoint obi na ye miense nyina e bia ye senior ne friends opening and their peer kubi oni ye pinning e wo ha ye feel say given the experience seniority ono betumi aye adwuma no na me nso na me mu kuma kra so politician or exercising appointing powers eto de bia senior no onfa ma no na de akoma obi a ono ankasa nim se we de anka senior ho anka se obetumi aya na de akoma no ideally no se oyesa na che se
opese wote asese wo na nka wo nsem fata na ye de ama wo ntino bibi ye kasete wa anase ye kasachire wa ti anase bibi a ye anu agumu amaye. But the point is that so we a genius and appointed. Once you are appointed, the constitution clothes you with some independence. And then remember, say you also swear an oath. Say, obey justice to all manner of persons without fear or favor, ill will or affection. You swear that oath. Ain't you know, sir? Na adom ne de adom ne de ama political appointment to and I say who qualify who deserve ne de ama wo, you must always be mindful of the constitutional clothing of independence around you, and then also your own offer wo swear na enu ntino say wo be yes ade and it is inconsequential for anybody to say regime when appointed judge we regime when appointed judge no emfa ho obi betumi appointed but judge nankasa onipa na de appointing powers no amano no onu na esese ohwe se obeye ndwumo bedi dwuma ebe contravene onu ankasa ni oath na waso eno susu na se ye ni a ebe ma akoso restore nkofo trust ISA eden akofom Ghana ye one there are so many clear cases to my mind me kire madwen there are so many clear cases ofo se nka we de anka bi anka se ekose enso na se say yakoye ma minim se hwe sa court ruling about birth certificate na se for na ade a ye de achichire ye ho a madam bi o Netherlands creative problems amana party che say omo birth certificate no uhia birth certificate wo di ndwuma bebre e wo ho as say ya ma ruling bi a in my mind no as a birth and death registry no kra no per the ruling na ba no kra say egu no because omo say birth certificate no kra no almost as a hia and all that eno ye ade bi a one of the rulings e ba ya obi tie say na Supreme Court ye ade na court yo mu rule ade na aye nipa adwemu kesene ne kakra. I'm not questioning. I'm not.
Yes, I was a dream because if you are also who need.
Sana make us a mad dream. When I'm kasa me mad dream. Oh, na we need binu muso kasa. Na amo mad dream. Aye kasa ne kakanti no. Emra so say Supreme Court no say this nsem ye de akodam. It say ni panyi na aye den. Show. Inti no mesre say omo ma no nkoye say ebinu beka say see e kan me feel say there is a way ombetumi edi asem in such a way say nia ebekwa etia no mpo ebeka say oh we are grateful and I say obet no ho ase say we dey wona wamfa wa asem anko dey say NDC fo ade omodi koye omo mistake here omo koye petition mistake koye clearly if it is pointed out to you so why a mistake na say fo obi enim say why a mistake bon enti no maniso ade hu ne what I anticipate and say given a certain trust deficit aya akom mu no me gidi say they would want to handle the petition in a manner say at the end of the day no omo ruling na omo de beba no nia ebekwa ama no obete no ho ase nia ebekwa etia no nso no obete no ho ase se nia ebe ya yebekọ so enya trust ewo ade judiciary no
me that say na ansana me bo no abo and ya pia could be sign lawyer so no na say me ba ne so no abo ansana obeka sa court asemi any how they can be fair na doubt every crofo adwin mu say who empaneled who or who called who to the Supreme Court and think say Chief Justice ehwe time na regime ben ne fa omo one panel omo no ababa we kwesen ehwe say obetimi aboa me a Deborah also say, I heard what happened in Parliament in line with duty can only be found guilty by Parliamentary Privilege Committee, but not a court of law. It is a.
We knew about I can agree there. So, me yes, I'm not me. The entire say, CNMD can crime is crime. A crime is prosecutable in the courts. Na there are certain behaviors you're subject to Parliamentary Privileges Committee and crime the only institution where jurisdiction a court.
But this is a crime I see with Parliament and outside Parliament.
ya na yewo ade say contempt is cry contempt inquiry fashi excurry fashi ebi ho isi court ho bi ho isi abontin but they are all contemptuous crime and na the wo parliament ya yake yentimi nka say bia president okopa obi asum ke hypothetical ewo bia within the executive tino ni pakro the right to go to police no the imrano kire ni say institution bia wo the jurisdiction crime there it is within the courts to deal with it yes parliamentary yina be ko deal with it but say we are contemptuous of the parliament near there then we can send you to the parliamentary privileges committee but yes omuna assume capacity to prosecute crime there be entisa
okay afi election petition
minuaba election petition I will who sempa but me started from the prophecy says violence post election idea bia esesi nyina e condemn because post election violence no anhwe ya na o kosei obi niema o kogu obi hu fi o ko ham obi ebi a state property na wo say no emra bia ma kwan sa so obeye o time no e hihine law require so no a criminal act na no san police for no omo right to also discipline you because we have to respond to the law. Now,
but it's a law no man who for demonstrations, sir. The law should be ready for the excesses that comes with demonstration.
And say,
how can election now be bua fuso no demonstration be peaceful?
We
should be real. No. Adia free me some ya. Adia asama shimi inti na me call demonstration and ya mfa me adwuma ana ma wie school metifie mfa me adwuma asem ya me buafu me call obi ya me buafu me call demonstration bufu ni mi wuraba
and bufu ba ko she ka
baby ana mi wu ama de aka ma
right there with responsibility
okay
and right to demonstrate no there were also responsibilities. Yes, ansana be call demonstration although it's your right. Notify the police. Yanum be home make a case be sumenya about saying public order act in yadi. No be say we hear permission and so any permission.
It's not permission.
Who notify omo. Na no de asudia to am so say. Ese demonstration akono. Omo bo ho ban to begin with. Na omoboa ma ye demonstration ye senia o pesa we ye in fact it's the duty of the police to also assist you to demonstrate na we ye the assessor we ni na mom omuso presence no so e be prevent commission of crime in the process of your demonstration and it is a one kwanko bo principal man ya miama who is a principal no manage demonstration no and can say moko na moko shishi adi tie wo kwamu am say adi and it who person enjoy right bia responsibility na ka ho fa ho na fe enjoy na state institution kura mo na wo maximize wo demonstration na intimi nya de demonstration no nya se wo pese okohye time na wo koy demonstration wo pese de ha wo no de koto opani bi a asudie da no se otie wasem anim enti ese principal no bo wa ma timi kwa koto pani no a na de akwa koto nanim na mmom wa mo na mane a ebede no no so abo mo akoye se adwuma no ama wo kra in the process no akoye boni boni no kra se punishable okay say police voi no more kwai say so mo stop mo from commission of crime anything say what can no no di buy no me police ni ka de hie pa na me di beba ho pa so because obi a wo boni no emra no also enjoins you to stop the commission of crime. And
to the extent that ubetimi enjoy
now see application of reasonable force required where recalcitrancy and reasonable force at the point now we have demonstration of municipal ban who determines what is reasonable.
Now reasonable force who determines the reasonable force because who can association abekono eno no enye more than reasonable force
say e di so nyugu so abeko e so nyugu no be ya no ligu ejano so no omo duty was not to go and quench the fire omo duty was go and stop the crime anything who quench fire no mo so na akire who quench we no mo so na akire that be nipa no o yes ade no e say ka pie so no bi guru so e so no so dey share apia wo mu so Now
and you're only your reasonable force.
And say yes atam na me tell me what is reasonable. The nim say obeja ma wajai boni na wudi no. That is what I would do. And it post election violence no. Ehun hia kra yama appropriate channel obekọ no akwa reliefs. It is also on reliefs na obeye dia. A state of Ghana so deal with you. Attack on judges.
In the state of Ghana dealing with
2013.
There was a demonstration before
2013 court. To be honest with you, party look a notification. In fact, the police for a demonstration. And who said there were excesses, destruction near the
almost saying Yama.
Tire, who be.
Oh, almost saying Yama.
No, well, you are telling me.
2013 Obra Sports.
Google of
I will not challenge your evidence, but I see me.
Uncle, I saw on when doesn't mean it didn't happen.
It doesn't mean it didn't happen. Anything, I will not challenge your evidence. I will not challenge your evidence, but again, provocative ideas and so you move them and say the car could remove.
The car could remove, and that's maybe I call demonstration.
Oh, dear. And because of notification, police for no more agree on route and time. Any match, how is it supposed to go?
And you know, grand almost some route, you know. They change their routes along the way.
But let me go on with what I'm saying about the judges.
Okay.
And you're proper, say, castigating judges this are based on the principle say this regime appointed that and that. You see, judges in a regime been appointed. Now 2012 so regime been appointed judges. Because the regime when appointed when you judge na. And you're right. And now you decided case be Ghana has Supreme Court decided on in matters like this. And no but that on say principles of law say can you be a judge in your own court?
Yeah.
And give hearing to natural justice principles.
Yeah.
And no the foundation of law. Now case be a friend of Salah and Attorney General.
Yep.
And no Supreme Court decided say notwithstanding the appointment in baby free near the Nimpano original Ghana a close community. And to be any movie. And you can see the only mobiano, and here you be. Anything with duty in office, no, a different from relationship outside the office.
Okay.
Anything, and no to mean disqualify from undertaking your lawful duty. And instead, Salah and Attorney General, a certain matters of who qualifies to be a judge in a court, a particular court.
Okay.
Anything, obviously. Chief Justice, on pointing where the person is on pointing the person. Hey, a failure, a quack, because he said, Yea, Timemufono, yea, na ye beji Chief Justice, Mayana. The law prescribes the functions of a Chief Justice. Say,
not necessarily say a Gina Joan, but maybe Timemufono so a quenya so mobile show more Jane. Debut, says ye, Mina, ya serve me, Sabu Fufu Semini. What would think you? What now, bet them say, size, me for him and Mona. And you're right. So obedient for now, so now my home prescriptions. So, and the law no at the embrace prophet say on coaching school for a day. Okay.
Now me meet your bonty, be a minim the oil and cram in Tiasia. Now me so be catch as a prof, there be just judge, yes, pray to see, yes, pray to see. Meanwhile, no, nim nadia, say, yes, pray no. And say, I assume, say,
you're spelling on from so
particularly,
so only power spell it.
Particularly,
excuse me, O judge,
and also a suggestion of man in his official capacity.
Okay.
Now, Cecilia, Casse, judge win, teacher judge in the and that's what we and I said, yeah, now who say, lawyer be pa, yes, I dear. And
yan cassa one cassa judge when or say, ideally, non ka or panel 7
when himself when his capacity, no, as a lawyer, you should know that the law does not give you that responsibility.
Okay.
And paneling a court, it is always, Supreme Court, for example, it is always the responsibility of the Chief Justice. And in now, the all kind was needless, and we here say obey Sadiano because we need to meet obey system. And see, so on a man who quite. last time senior prof came no me 9 and then 7 Supreme Court to me cross city nipa 5 Supreme Court cross to me city sitting as Supreme Court no nipa less than the number it is really? What yes
and yeah 5
and the Supreme Court to me city
9
5 7
odd number so either 5 either 7 or either 9 that's if it's an initial case say a reviewer then maybe the numbers
review from 9 betimi akọ
11 so then 7 can be 9 5 can be 7
7 no city a Supreme Court 5 no city a Supreme Court and 9 no city a Supreme Court say niam any yetumi mu no ya memfe ya hu ahihye because we can change anything now sometimes be a judgment be na ruling be ruling no kra be in writing no na for criticizing ruling without even understanding it.
Okay, so now I get it. The person who spoke here, Dr. Abdul Basit Bamba, or your legal team of the petitioner, Mr. Yes. Mahama, and he says that so we justice Yao Appel yeah, appointing to the Supreme Court in 2015.
It was needless suggestion.
The rest of the judges, the 6 remaining, were appointed by the ruling NPP.
Just
so
lawyer.
It feels say it's unfair and an unbalanced panel.
Needless. Okay. Lawyer no. When has he gone to court? Was suggesting his own judge that. Oh, yeah, lawyer. What my dear criminal law. The ben on work court. What should I say? Me person came for winning issue. The court is the court, and the court is what you see as a court. And even high court, all high courts are the same according to law. All of them are the same. It doesn't even matter personalities presiding over the court. And the Supreme Court will say, "Eba and the Wagana."
I said, "Nipa for review." That's in the case of a Supreme Court, and I am called for appeal from other courts.
Tribal issues are, and also yes, be a idea. Some way as we call the next court. You must indicate the tribal issues are, and until what they court to. So, and yes, also, you are now a cocoa. And I made the case, Yabro, Salah, Attorney General. It's a decided case. Actually, Sandy Mowin, who and I know,
I think 87 and
the be a church,
67.
And salary,
yeah, the man who used to work at GNTC.
Yeah, and I know lawyer, so only Sarkesi, and on him say, when you say right to determine who becomes or who sits. Anything who here say obeko into that area na a genetic controversy.
I mean, if I were more crimes, now you see, yes. it is very simplistic for us to always be looking at who appointed who.
Yes.
And yes, sir. Yen to me trust you be other. Yen to me trust you judiciary ne da. The chair say, "Omo aya appointed."
I say, "I'm penny trusting because any problem disappointed."
No, me say yen to me, but to build independent institutions, we must have a certain level of trust in them. Otherwise, they can never be independent. It is omo aya appointed omo dey. Echron be feel another regime so beba. Onso be appointed ne dey. Omo so be ye. For me, what is important, for anybody who cares about judicial independence and how they are able to discharge their duties is for them to make rather a call on the judges say among the assembly according to senior constitution
oath of office.
And that is what is key.
Enti sesi anu de eka nyina ehu hia na your president bio na your example bi aka person side ban person body 2012 petition 2012 or 2013 petition judge bi NPP regime appointing or rule against NPP candidate. Yeah. I'm not mentioning him, but I don't know say.
That's a public idea because their judgment came out. You can read it.
The person this year,
no problem.
Anything me person me say, but it's a small issue reason and relevant. Okay. Because according to evidence, sometimes you court where they can so bim where they can so me my case be me ankasa na minim say me lose, but I won.
You don't because, say. Now, why would you say case where they say me lose?
Tete na so na nya judge no. De ko ba he say client no ba me ho no. Na wako a senior lawyer bi ho. Amoni na ko file defense ni ade nyina no waka che say let's go and negotiate because this one you lose. And the other party say so, or he will not go into settlement.
Okay.
And Obama no me also be tunu for say me senior na so ka kire you're right. And inti mienko and I may offer no a better settlement package. Still lawyer no say because lawyer know him so very winning so. And inti na the issue was me Diana my rent my job sika say 3 years so na me rent no na papa say my 3 years no so me de dan nyina be ma oni asase no na mesa tua olore fe kura di fra brochiri bae wo so mpene so enti ekoye na mka say okay no we can win this case, let's go ahead nemum let's go to court processes no be delay akosi say 3 years no you will earn your 3 years so that you find relief enti we ko nyina no say be lose but ebra me didn't get move on cross examination no me put two questions ni bitutu no he couldn't even identify his land. I'm saying okay anyway. And we won at High Court, we won at Court of Appeal, we won at Supreme Court. Supreme Court, we win 5-0. We understand. So it is not the judge who did it, but it is you, your evidence, which didn't support your claim.
Okay.
So
and that's the bottom line. Evidence is the rule of the game.
Evidence is the rule. Evidence no no. Say speaking to the fact say winner. How can he change it? He cannot. And he say one winner, and then when she say judge na your boni. Ukwe the wagwe ya say obekwa ku wini. But ukwe is ukwe I want him to provide the necessary supporting evidence. And it is not all the case. And sometimes ebia processes no ekoso no kura no. Ukwa bontia na can different. The ekoso no won't ase. Judgments. It is possible say one we are lawyer and so judgment be ba I just kind of 3 times before we get a good understanding of the issues being raised and the holdings and the rulings na ebano. Enti enye is sir enti Mr. Pa say yema judges no independence no munyo mujuma. But let me talk about President Nana Akufo-Addo in 2013 or say I disagree with the ruling but I accept it because a court of competent jurisdiction and one man ruling to accept the ruling which was very good. Now to be honest with you and no can ne ma your president Nana Akufo-Addo obey a president in 2016 because behavior no put you up no you might Ghana for nyina to say or a statement extraordinaire and in papa we na botre ya wenye ni suban ya in this case here say you didn't be head of state and inti we be president of Ghana and inti wa we a leader suban bia obeda na die so ya ne hu nya pa because going forward no bia person to wa dwuma so nipa papa we da bi inti no ya na ya bra bokra ya bo outside the case no say hu nya correction ya na no omo application to amend omo motion to amend omo process petition senior
just correction go into details I just wish you be jaw
mami ende senior correction hu hinti na
let's just leave it there thank you
in the law no ubetimi ay amendment there even before judgment.
Okay.
And it will be applied so obey amend the processor. For me, unless raising new issues not from beginning. So if it's correction part there, I don't think there is necessary to object to it.
Thank you. Make of Facebook, make
a little yibi kitwe bi. I mean,
yes,
now walking kind basit the comment no. Now I'm just thinking about it. So say. Me per se, I always also want to try to reason along the lines of cophobia, people who are respectable in society in a omoya argument. You don't want to push it aside, sir. I me say near or person or chene say, which society I'm in in a very polarized environment. No, court and I would, if apart from even the judges, no, or if you have a very polarized atmosphere, now we take a decision here. You should also be a little bit sensitive to the situation around. When say, or Pacha say, ade na no nkofo no kra no ansa na omo be court ho no na omo nya hwe papa na ombae no enye obia na otumi read into who appointed who and who didn't appoint who and as for but say one ye careful na say bia one shed that deliberately am balance being so am bemusa then it fits into a certain narrative or perception
prof irrelevant. It is never going to be
can you let prof make his point
irrelevant. The law allows CJ to impanel.
Thank you. Prof, make your point.
One say ade ti o. Bra na me wa America me take course with judicial politics.
Okay.
Na omo ka say judges no. Maybe I got meaning I don't know that.
You don't know about Ghana.
Ghana say judges no so omo take decision bia nso yeah omo share the national mood.
Okay. And directive principles of state policy.
Jurisprudence. Ghana. You look at the sociology and everything. Meaning, I say, Papa, no,
I want to believe it. Say, and no session na Emma Bassett, Dr. Bassett, can say or share. I say we are appointee, but. Generally, no media.
But you have initially said meritocracy. So we appointee, we not say all deserve say appointee now.
Me say me feel say near given how polarized we are, no. So we here empanel now. If it is possible,
the political polarization also called judiciary.
Oh, there be me just say the environment. No, one say you should also be sensitive to what is going on around you, so that at the end of the day, your judgment and I say your verdict, elicits a certain acceptance. Or me first say sana or per se, which we cannot completely also relegate to the background. That's
thank you.
But who is be about 42 days?
Yeah. So betting
42 days today. Me ne penifono me perceive na zo kakra kire say. Sisi a yenwie ade no kura pretrial no anke wie pretrial no kura na mo set issues no ni ade no na mutimi hu case management strategy ho na ka bia beka say then ade we dey betimi di 42 days but 42 days before pretrial no dey say pretrial no kura da edi be di 20 days you
enya shase o
which is up to pretrial.
Yeah.
Yet they say already we are about 20 days in court.
Yes.
Pretrial no so enyanru.
Yes.
And the pretrial no we kra be set down issues near there and what na be hu anim say e be take here 2 weeks, 3 days near there. It is
so now we should forget about the
42 days in the mini say betimi ayo na me the madwem say nka e twa ma pretrial no we ansa na e be hu shape case no be take ansa na yetimi eno kra so no anticipation and yet they definitive.
But enko ye 8 months like 20.
Oh, definitely the 8 months the enko ye. But and I don't want to preempt the case no court talking about the issues no
Thank you. Facebook, Nana Kwame Pasco says, good morning. Yeah, indeed, Ghanaians need an apology from the members of Parliament. Their act was uncivilized. Greetings to lawyer JD. Let me see who is here. Nuruddin says, good morning. I really enjoy lawyer Jampo's submissions whenever he's not a lawyer, Professor Jampo's submissions whenever I watch him on TV. Thanks for your service to Mother Ghana. Then Attorney Marco says, please, election and demonstration does not mean violence. Crime is crime. He's watching us from Barcelona City. Stevenson says, yeah, I want you to bring Honorable Kwekwa Santi-Boateng next week. He is also an MP and a lawyer, but he has not been here. We have not been hearing from him anywhere. Hey, Drew Horse, is hearing from them. I don't know him though, but hey, I say, well, okay. Wafakwejo says the political parties govern the country in their own interest, but not the national agenda or interest, and that should be put away. Tom Haruna TK says that, please, this is my father who is an NPP party member. No, I wouldn't go, I would not like to go on. Let me see. Prince Kusi Ampofu said, I'm watching you live from Unsanwom. I want you to Woody Oyen and Chiano, near Oyen and Chia, Police Sergeant Linda so but you raso chow pa. Nana Frimpon says the minister should do away with hatred and cooperate with each other to help the president develop our nation. I side with Professor Jampo. And Starboy says, hello, good morning. How are you doing? My name is David from Ofanko, you mean UTV all the way. Okay, you. Thank you. Let me see. Why in Waha? I can't really get it. So let me take this last one from Prince District Cashew Best Farm at Asante Achim North. And he says one of the best MP in Asante Achim North about the Fulani issues. He's really handled it well. His Honorable Andy Appiah-Kobe. Yeah, that's it. Okay, it is a siano. Yenshare ministerial appointment any ehon sensem boboba. Obesha analyst ya back. Minim se president na efrihi na eba papa binim se president na test waters you sa manfo na effort so ama papa ya man krofa appointment akwala ne na say me I doesn't know ai wo list honorable uhun list ni bi
matiti bi na me dey be hu
oh na
I don't pay attention
professor wo dey wa hu bi eh amanfo alani amanfo mame man krofo appointment pa ya enye asem ketwa na enu no wo mu kra se o mu hwe che yente enu fi honom minister asem ne yakamba still if vice president ka say bi mu hwe che say acting ministers no minority caucus our parliament leader honorable Naidu say how can you say that president you can't say acting ministers. There's nothing like acting ministers. Honorable your acting ministers.
Minya, one can say we discuss receipt. Now, so what's man answer? Refer to president because no or challenge issue no crano. One Kasa was a beneficiary of the same instruction.
So take it. They didn't know the law then.
They didn't know ignorance of the law. They say no excuse. Anything once you commit, so see a crime of a kind. And yes, one also committing.
Not necessarily a crime, but emremu bibia sa ni ho.
Look,
one can say
don't forget, says executive presidency. So executive presidency, the state power no is vested in him.
Okay.
In appointments, and it is a CIA what way. Was say Appiah-Kobe. Kona Koshe has a mamia in an acting capacity. He has a right to so do because a delegation of his function to whoever is taking that position.
Thank you. Take a rest. Prof, Ebi says, Oyenisa, Omo hono, Omutimi Niama Bia. The question is, a den on betimiaye, Nadia no muntiminye, can they initiate policies as expected of them? Are they allowed to sign contracts? If they sign contracts, on sign new contracts, Bia. Time I will appoint substantial ones.
Definitely, there are certain ministries that are so sensitive. National security, for instance. You cannot, there can't be that huge lacuna. Appoint you.
Technocrats, no, chief directors.
Yeah, chief directors, technocrats, no, but say every political party and every regime, so what in this wadi some ministers see reflect say in this wadi of the regime, no, technocrats, no, no, yes, there can be acting ministers, but the question we must ask ourselves, and say, for how long? Okay. Before say President Akufo-Addo, say, watch it. Bra yeto aba a man and say Kimuno.
7th January. So let's say 9th.
Or swear, bra or so afternoon swear. And I'm for say 2 days afterwards, no, a send coordinate list. Even after at the end of the election, now you who say within Kunimono, you announce within Kunim before swearing. Before say Nanka list, no, Anka as why ready, Anka by this time, no, Nanka. Or the two judges say, you see, delays, our problems will be. Number one, you see, ministers, former ministers, Nibino, Amunda. Ibino BP ekosoro ibino sleepless nights onim said that be can't
for 4 years
you may but so every onim say o 4 years nso no This is the most President Akufo-Addo 4 years abino is the most stable regime we've ever had in Ghana's history and Ghana's fourth Republican.
Because he
never did any reshuffle.
Which amount for spoke against?
Amount for so say say 1 year reshuffle. No, I say or trust one. Internet say amount for any suadi who say bia or the omobesan then akọ. Na say you know, Matisa or Mampenim so at the list no. This you know we keep put to his chest into obi enim ti wo ho a ye no kra ye nka ho no ne afro na mpacho wonte hwe ye ye de me kwa na say ye de me kwa na say ye yi mefi na nti amanfo efie enye kra omoyire no mo ene ma omoma no omoda amonda wo kra me sure say o hwehwe de bi me sure say no won so hwehwe appointment
ba ni waduma wo so broni so ni say wo ye waduma ya
the other bit is that the other bit is that yes answer the president becomes too open and susceptible to influence peddlers obehwe na ahemfo bi asio omukuntun kununku omo president ho obehwe na asofo okọ obehwe na enkofo okọ
na in the US lobbying is good
but you see the president also needs a certain peace of mind to determine yes so here particularly now that he wants to leave a legacy into my dream no aban no ya me sure say so form wi a we hu the ministers are intem ya no onfantuja na influence peddlers edwuma embo adze na fe omo nso omo da omo ntuminda omo BP ekosoro omo ye na mo mba ebinum egu nwuremu a ebo mpaye ema omo kunu ne omo papa na se de ya
mpaye de se
mpaye ba me chese na ayi wodi be ma na fama ne ntem na akwanche ne amwadedi a nkofo yi so onya na
seriously omo yes are they not putting pressure on the president unnecessarily?
They put pressure on the president unnecessarily, they put the pressure on also on themselves, but the point is that I didn't also say why. Yeah, I think the president by now should have.
They should go with an open mind. Oh no, obefrel. So unfair wa. Oh how ne saying.
Unlu hoda na eya ni omonkasa papa so onye minister. Nje ya ni ministers ni bi enkasa, especially we minister na o ministry no. Obi ya nka ho asem na asa woti wo quiet na ye kase. Say ade ye better so the government must be downsized na say for. Unim
say was in a minister. I was a deputy minister.
You're deputy man.
Anti medical ministerial team.
Yeah, that's true.
But the attorney say me about ade no a president na o mandate no so appointee. See appointee you near 4 years. You be dwuma yeah. Na wanya satisfaction me say me wie dwuma no. In fact, me name me staff we share me catch them say we have finished.
Oh, the last time I only shy.
Oh, Christmas move.
Okay.
A mandate aso. Enti papa no a ma yedwuma no. O besan gide dwuma na o de ma nipa. Nipa no inclusive of myself.
Say be a na student leader ntino wo akoko bi a yetimi facing near me be na bebre unia no bebre na o me catch them.
Uti se si akra no. Yeah, appointed members of appointment committee vetting. And Ceci Akrano committee on selection cry appointed. No, I ain't me. It will cry and be appointed committee members are included.
But list the bar. With the list of the 100 years to cry and I say, Mom, so
honorable. President, is he not in a hurry again?
No, yes, he's not in a hurry.
4 years ago, he told us, I'm in a hurry.
The system is not ready to absorb the labor to vet and appointment committee. And what they are doing, what the list we must say yeah enye dwuma kosi say committees ni nyina beba in place enti he probably is there but your system no it's not ready.
If Celeste na bad then parliamentarians to be who say and from Tuesday go mo bet na say how difficult is
why you
yes
we a minister now a parliamentarian adwuma we no we aka parliamentary job no koye no so when you so you don't need to go to him. Ono na wo mandate no. Now the papa woni mo bia adwuma oyo. and now brain report periodic reports
okay.
you know where the mummy nya ma no one for adwen no from
na be ye be be konsi obeba na ntem na onkofo a me say
ono wonim nipa beba ye tie kire no ye ball continue eni enim nipa beba enti obi ankoro fi no na
ayem hihie na
oda obeda da
ayem hihie amanfo me say ye ya fra obi say na wonte hwie
wo busa question be prof
say
why ebony aswafo no ebi ma momode na momode o ma mokra na translate into womo constituency
no that is very true that is very true
but so say omo yade pa na omo attention so come ministry ho no and affect your constituency in your estimation did the ministers perform well
by any ministers we no home I will tell you say me rate omo many of them disappointed the president. Many of them.
President Wakasa. Wakasa disappointed.
Me share nema. You see what the president stands for. You see, in Ghana, the history of our fourth republic, two leaders, two presidents, and na me to me a catcher or say, bra on my breast no. They demonstrated that kind of leadership and all the appointees shipped into line. Jerry Rawlings, J. Kufuor. Otiatamos, mom, you should not do politics of insult.
Now, what's continue to Kafanti credit?
Kafanti pa. Yes, the passum, more behind you obi. But no, na, oka more behind you obi, oka na pa, we are very more than any Mr. B, or you should be a robber. President Matsu committee.
Prof, okay, say unye fantini tu peso.
Presidency on Pegalamse.
Okay.
Obete no obeko Galamse site wona wo say. Minister ni Pete ni oye Galamse wa ha. Minister we so oye Galamse wa ha. Any other.
The point is, the point is,
you see, and your man, of course, uncle for a day. Yeah,
Omotia na because e be also I hear say
omote you omote and omohu and I was sharp and yet affiance and our time as a bubble in some into detail but was sharp
detail the fabric time and
confront the business so say yen so why
baby
enti enkofo ministers ni bebere wo ho a nyema bi wo ho a omoye na it never aligned with what the president stood for at the time eto de bia wotie minister bi enum kasa empo a president no the president no wo mu say eto de bia president makes oye 9 speeches na sefo eto de bia no so ato baako kakra but
as a politician is expected
but
to address a particular situation
or to address situation eti wo hwe ministers bi no kasa na bi no lifestyle o leadi and bi no niema president say mo nye emre bi mi share minister at the time and president who takes him to 2017 or something president e ban as a minister for komun tu kwan ansa and for o kwa abrochi president me ntu kwan so be hwe no share ministers bi a multiply mu a omo ko ene na sefo
ba say no na ayi wo na exclusion bi o
omo a da bi omo a na omo te ha omo ko school abrochi ne enim bi we NMB ministers be ekoye ayi otumi fa plane ekoye course eko lecture
London
eko no aba bia obepa na want to say adi na make catch please mpacho manya research amindidi ntini ya make na ya menan minim ya
how would I accept
baby enkofo bebre ministers ne bebre no efeli president no what is one there was a sound bite be the one district one dam amokoye dam bia
one village one dam
one village
one v1
amokoye dam bia
about the minister no
dam bi ankoye wutie senior minister no or respond yes she can I de my ye dam request anti sa we ya na mo benya and all manner of things for me no emma shine mankofo edi enya omugidi ewo regime no ekofom not because of Akufo-Addo in fact preliminary investigation kakre bi amaye post 2020 elections no points to the fact that yes, nkofo peppers in Akufo-Addo asem, but the caliber of some of the caliber of people are now on one in China. On one horn, I saw Omudi in Yambo. And you know, going forward, you know.
But what am rating? What's your performance?
Oh, ministers,
generally,
ministers' performance, you know. Memo, and your regime in our performance, but the performance of the ministers around President Akufo-Addo.
Yeah, that's the 123 or 125.
Yeah, now even though no more kasi here ministers be no more manager, I think in terms of performance, minimum 48%. Oh. Yeah. In terms of performance of
not even a pass mark of 50.
Oh, I'm going to fail. Oh, 48%.
48 you will fail.
48 they fail.
Oh, there be I know child University of Ghana. 0 to 44 na F. Me say I'm going to fail.
Sir, game pa dey wunya 48 ya wa fail you.
Oh, enti no mom 40. You see, and no na a mass kind of resource yinyai. You see, the resource was for the president. Who share baby a obon say members of parliament on vote no kra no eso tie ba president here then ekosoro. The result was for the president. And if the result was for the president na dia and you're going forward no one a obe retain omo no omo ka 48% no omo bo omo ho modern no me hia omo hia kasa kire na ebinum so wo ho a omo bo omo modern na nso sense ye mo kwan mo kasa e wo public. They should be behind the scene and work because
and say some kasa because me so I have issues and I don't know be can ministries ni bi oho mo a ofro
on say papa no minister so now on time to say
the papa ika say enra na junior friend no e be shock you prof. I started speaking to you on Tuesday, right? Tuesday ni sha say kasai heavy Tuesday no wa frɛ ya frɛ wo mo afra me nya ho oh yes we call the MPs
nya ho abedi omo abesi omo
enya na enra na junti last minute frɛ wa na me da wasi so ma sha say me nya ho na sha say public person
say mo na mo hwehwɛ mo say mo hwehwɛ mo the appropriate hwehwɛ because nya ho o me ka na wako yire wako fara some dia koto
na me ka na say
ebi mo how we expect them to talk
minister for bi bo adwuma pa
yes
but omo bi omo no e public a ho Amokasa no etumi and
they should allow the PROs or the directors there to talk. Go friend directors no so obeka pacho dey just a minister just obeti ase say kasa no
because senior ebinumo carry omo ho ne senior ebinumo eye omo niema no you see then America no say you see obetumi the heaven abasa so and so our point is oman conduct omo hu ya okay nia wodi aye papa ni nyina no ebe onhwe be o se Ghana fo nhwe ne papa emfanto moto omfanto aba omohwe pa na mum say if the conduct of your appointees in a manner that exudes a certain arrogance cover overshadow ne papa na why
started by saying our culture ebeka se badua cross e badua sa nti ba ko
be say no onye omkasa kire ne say ya onim say omba biomu ohum say odwen me sure so odwen ne legacy
mesan about ho ya share alignment of some of the ministries and then ye begu no kra reduction but honorable Mimusa say ebi say 125 no kra na so 123 or 125
I don't know person question who can see evaluate ministers I feel they be
person peer review instead of saying so okay who dey peer review mo performance na to say
well me I was a prof for kind 48% no
maybe I can 40 o can papa 48 no
a whole ministerial team am make see any nyuma ya ni evidence enkopo bebrebe ne your president na this wali hu implement on the ground near the 48% the Adabraka
na me man nyina so se do adwuma no maye but e bia kasa mo beka
anyway but no na performance versus attitude who attitude no and na wonu so bisa performance no enti performance dey on the ground near ma entire president ni so our decision the ministers inside on the ground there ka we free
o say ke be reflect wo mo e be reflect wo reflect wo elections mo
yeah railways
honorable ke be reflect wo mo wo elections because some ministers actually lost their seats
who back to patrol railways no ade ba ko ada na me nam me talk kakra me railways
na one nam he wa modi
oh ye ko ne nam Ghana baby kakra o na me hu say railway ade ba ko na ha me ho ne say you see bibi it's a free SHS matumi aye we can betumi I discuss its quality okay and a different discussion but railways no I say ni nyina ye work in progress me hu railway ba ko aye say ya ye wie da na me nim say eno no ne ye no e dey too much all the railways are constructing na ayaka ongoing ni na ye ongoing
ye say ni ye na edin
ye nya ba ko
industry no sa na tie if you rush into project management and hwe ya say railway ba ko hwe ase a ensem ade beba no enye ensem kutua na railway construction no it take time.
How long does it take to construct a railway?
It takes 4 years for a 100-kilometer rail line. In the past, it used to be.
Railway na Kafra, railway na feet Taprade, Eko Kumasine. How many kilometers?
364 kilometers from Takrady to Kumasi.
And what year do here?
Kojokrum, Kojokrum, Yako, Takwa, you headed towards Dunkwa, as you see. Railway infrastructure no cost really high. Sometimes funding it it takes so long to put the financing package together. So we're talking billions of dollars. And it say Kobasa yes idea we see so ana echo. But say time no idea feasibility, time no idea design, time no idea approval, time no idea financing. Ni nyina can part of these 4 years you. And I drag idea free secondary takrade bedru takwa. Yeko the Dunkwawi. Say certificate Jesus Kumasi so headed towards Obuasi Yeko here time kakra. And inti adwuma say awko ayi
we when I PR papa because nobody
he's a deputy minister of that he's a deputy minister of that
Lugate is not talking about the sentiment
as a person.
The sentiment on the
ground the industry and don't cite him as a person and prof uko Volta regions
nobody
is talking about this
uko Volta regions say yeah rail line fe yatra Volta River Nukra, Cecilia Volta River, no more bridge on the Volta River, and Confucian soon more a bridge no, a soon more inside a pillars of a zoom. You started beyond the river Nukra,
the deputy no,
old
man come for.
Okay, look at agriculture.
Watch us to one, not one or one.
Look at agriculture. The enemy bay are planting for food and jobs in their bay. Yes, portable near free agogo, Eco, Burkina Faso, Nea Mika say. When you know, 48% penny binya. Energy, and then microm, and energy mimicrom. 33 communities, Asante Achim North, have been connected to electricity.
Prof said 48%.
Agriculture no. Yep. What the and then say ya me microm. Na me to tomatoes e wo kwan no. Na me say yes agric tomatoes aduane ebu. Na I start kasa bebre say mo na muti TV so amusi aduane ebu. Na mo kona koto hwese body ebu akona ko say tomatoes.
Body
wo de memenchira bia.
Wo de agugu dia body bia de babo.
Paprika bra. Me ma me use ka. O de fabrika bra
me David me kan ye ton no
kai se sa body e and na great minister koka ya ma mi bi etwa board no
body ayi no 200 cedis mean agric minister no so ye ton no
se body wa go wo ko to body wa
that time na ye be ye
body wa go ko to body wa go
and o kan say body
o body no to he
me to wo ade friends say East Legon ha 200 cedis
na we East Legon
ko to body o East Legon
East Legon, your friend said Trinity traffic light. Nas ma me me kan must also 200. Me say aduane ebu o say there be muti TV so na mo ka say aduane.
Na prof wa hwe. Body e be free agogo, e be du dom junction. A wo mo be je body yi. Na wo mo e be ye masom, e be du market, e be ba be du achimota, e be ba be pam jowlo. Na ba be du East Legon. Prof ko to body o East Legon. I ti so ko to je na wo mo no.
Enti ye nyina ye pe body, ye nyina ye nko Yes, you are. As I say,
ordinary market. Ordinary market. Okoto jene wo mall. You will find that.
Distribution. I will complain about distribution. I can agree with you to some extent because distribution. Yeah, say me promo for the focus this year Togo and Burkina Faso near there. But there are other places in so close to Accra, yeah, Mobitimi, a central region, western region for it is a distribution no problem. It doesn't mean the production is not going on.
Okay.
Well,
but pricing is a problem. It's not about the production, it's about the pricing too, right? And because if a Konamah pricing the supply
is 3 times full because it's the go no what on is it's not good for her to reduce. And it is a special situation. But I will go ni hodum here talk here whole here.
Kwano so dano dwaso kwano so junction. Me talk gina ho eto niam bi sa. Erebi ho. Ono so me say na say duane ebu. Ono so kasa asa dabi na motewa ho duane ebu. Me say me say me ya kototo niam ni
agogo no.
Ye nyina e be kwa aguje. Si ase papa yi ka dey say nyina e
kwa. Mana se mutena ha say ka dey nyi.
Ye be agogo challenge.
Na honorable enipa 30 million ye nyina e fa ka agogo.
Na wo dey wo ba kura be hia trucks a de bode no ba.
Na oshia truck odwaso
na dwaso ya make gugu
enti ye nyina ye ntu kamera
amumra say ani nyina ye
arefo mo menko
nyina tourism amumra agugu is the place to come
mo menka ministries na sem ebi say this time around there should be a capping papa no want so na 125 no edoso nti yenye realignment ebi kran say ministries ni bi wa te say uncle Dambotwe die na dwuma asi nti ono na osi egu no ankasa na ebi so koka ebi hu asa no those ministers what become of them.
Okay, so yes, size of government no so nti yente so the can say yente so na say ebi kofie ana ebi nso so ye MPs nti no omun anhwe mu na omundi MPs no na de bia na sani papa honorable kan no ye ma wedwuma 4 years omra something yes kofie because I do not expect say Omanpenin Akufo-Addo ebesan enya this unprecedentedly high number of ministers. Meaning say obeteso. Na obeteso a na te say ministers no say oyibi film oyibi so efimu a na it would also require say obeye some realignment and reorganizations. Wo hwe agric first no ye Ministry of Agric and I think there is a minister in charge of the livestock, agric,
yes,
livestock, and fisheries,
and aquaculture,
and livestock.
Kennedy Osenya Konho, and Jojo Drew ho, and Afolokwe ho. Asana omu minister.
Sa fisheries and the livestock, and asifoni na must be subsumed under agric. What say share livestock na share fisheries na asifwa. You can set up decks, different decks. Not on my ship. Over transport, for instance, you can subsume transport. You can subsume railways. Now what the ports and harbour. Ni aviation. You see, railway, port and harbour. Ni aviation. Ni na transport. Modes of transport. Now what the Akweshe Ministry of Transport I say. Modernization of the capital. Regional. Creation of new
reorganization, regional reorganization and development.
Omo dwumampo ache. Nti no omo wie
ayagu no kra.
Omo wie na me te say embribi na ye the sports etumi ka education ho.
Youth and sports
etumi ka education ho. Employment. I'm sure say there is a paper that I authored and published in 2011, Ministerial Appointment and Government Expenditure in Ghana's Fourth Republic.
So government expenditure.
Oshe sa yi paper na. Ye hwe how I betumi align ministries. Ni akeka ka bia bom. Se ne be ya o betumi aye edwuma krona. Anti no aban ne the size of government ne dey say to say emma government expenditure no e man no cost rodo over minister back.
What about communication and information?
Communication and information, you see,
can no because I will respond. Also for minister back one
ne wedding me
because I remind him for you.
You and you know oh yeah at the communication and information matter say or more can but say the two are different too. The two are different but information you are giving from communication yes I tell cousin and money but you perceive the boom e betumi abom e betumi the abom ne ama dexes set up dexes to handle various aspects of communication and then also information as for now papa me
share interior your interior your national security minister because no cry niche na man for kasa say no enye legal or say national security advisor but your minister or and your interior and so
yeah interior national security there are two different establishments it depends on
but they are looking at the security of the state not defense in America
it depends on government you know enema ni swade hu senia ohwe your security some. Oh, now me feel say this particular regime, to set up a whole ministry in charge of national security points to you say they need or value national security, over and above so many other ministerial adintino. I know it depends on abino any swadi home.
Okay, so now
minister costs. Papi or Tehama main canchen. Yeah, for minister. See it yaka. Uji fuel free. Or allowances be a woje. Say clothing allowance ka ho. Entertainment allowance ka ho. A telephone cry calls or the cry and me sure so allowance and I'm kaka free fuel. You are entitled to a cook. A mine chanaka. Day watchman or night watchman or security ona mana odewo eko na ebia car ebe ma no ogi V8 baako a na bia saje saloon baako and nso abai na fuel and free na sefo we no ye nyema me this research na ba we categorize nyema the kinds of things omoje se wo nipa 2 ana wo nipa 10 na wo bo omo ho ka you see nye ye nyina na ebetumi akwa aban mu nkofo bi must be there. Okay, to govern for us. But what I say, Kofobi must be there to govern for us. Now, to be able to give them the peace of mind to decide for us, SSC making life a bit comfortable for them. That's the reason why a government would go out of its way, or the state would go out of its way to make all these provisions available to appointees. Because pese or dream or mine na or sign dream in near maybe a better distract until you make all these available to them. But se wukonya numbers ni bebre what happens and say ye adwuma na se yenye sika na ye benya no ne dodo na so will go into paying these cost items to the ministers into as they be near the canteen you can work very hard to earn a lot of sika as of mine, but at the end of the day, ansana sika no bebre no ebeba see ye dey be ya kwan ye dey be hospital ye dey be ye niema no na ministers a lot of appointees na ye won numerous appointees na ye won no na omo ankasa no ma ye den omo chedi won ya che edi tui omoka ene na se for enti no the point and say wait there's been empirical studies over this and me stress minister and so ebehwe metumi ama no copy the Brookings Institute AAB America and Ghana there's been several studies about the cost of hiring one minister
before them
metumi ama no what the cost of hiring one minister
I hope so
vis-a-vis its impact on yesi kasamo a yenya asoman obawu say unya ne bebre a na che say the more you get the more you spend on them rather than spending on the ordinary people.
Prof, why your submission? Unfortunately, no situation now can no create. The engine create say, I would say president appointed most of his ministers from parliament.
Okay.
Now, I can assure you, and this is a fact, and I'm also party. Say duplication be any free parliament by your parliamentary package, and one idea.
I'm going to say you have a choice to choose between the two. That either over parliamentary option or a package.
We didn't have that choice.
Package,
And to say, watch man, where we can, what the problem here?
You may not have, but you
allowances. Okay, we call ministry, and you can go back to my ministry and find out. because ministry ho allowance says you minister dia mo allowance minya ebida enamom ebi ana
asem mu
deputy minister ebi your substantive minister was enjoying all this
ebi ukobokina mina mikobokina faso pa kwa edwuma na ukobokina faso no na ma pay them say for the 3 days or 4 days abidi ho no eno kura pay them na rated against feeding see yi ma accommodation feeding kura ye from near ma ya 1/3 of your pay them say ama wa na ye dey compete ni na dey ama say hotel base ni ade ebi a hormo na betimi decide on the hotel you take instead of ebi a
better 5-star member 3-star
okay dey na ubetimi ayi bibi say that is if that package is given to you but say amount fuel allowance because fuel allowance na fuel red be ma no de we beba adwuma de akofie be ma
honorable we kwa wo de na ye different because ati da bia
ono ni de em say wo de ene o mosis no
ha tie wo
ene o mosis wo
enya na ka na si wo gbe VAT si wo na just so
ene na me ni obi koshia program bi so sa
ni VAT ya mo nko ye ho no mko find out ebi okura no a me say makunto ko fuel huda because be over 4 months cry 5 months cry na my na make say
hey bia na wo na wo de na ye different
yeah government will be duplication bia bam to say power ko gina house am
well okay we dey for duplication and let's limit ourselves to free fuel the more ministers you have the more fuel they draw not fuel no more
fuel ni dey fuel allowance be president be my appointment no e dey assess say na okay be my fuel see and now okay be my fuel say sani de be ma wo enti eno de universal
e bi na sani de be ma wa na okita ministers 3 a omo fuel omo be draw no extra
and don't forget the desk officers ni na they give them the same amount of fuel to come enti so we minister so ye director the same facility no na
be director will not be entitled same benefit
as director crowd ye be man government car o use eti the desk chrono okay
responsibility who suggest to say in this President Akufo the final 4 years on for minister say
me nyama dwuma so me kan say me kan de me hu ni de minim say yeah the double salary be double
salary
40 no more than 40
profit
na regional ministers ne nko ampo ye say 16 regions na ka 24
I think I have the floor mama kire mu de me minimum am mehu me pese we ko verify
okay
allowance be ni ho say be ma say allowance say house you say when you know
now say no team free
Debbie me to be free
Debbie wona wo team free
papa
so many of us the rule
so many of us one more NTF in Kran parliament amount rent allowance na so we minister na parliament amount rent and president personally told us obia we parliamentarian we get allowance for rent no you are not entitled to government accommodation even if you are a minister and that has prevailed. Oh, anything Yana Krofo can say enye no kre.
No, but what's the problem? Who you are the exception to every rule. There's an exception. Maybe you are the exception and now the exception.
President, former Vice President Ali Umar, see, we had our own bungalows before we came to power. But I know so many ministers. Yes, they had their own 4-wheelers, they had their own bungalows. But when they got to power, they rented their bungalows and moved into
Honorable Frida Pempe, Deputy Minister Gender. And also say, yeah, what my colleague is saying is true. We are not entitled to cooks. Drivers,
deputy ministers in the say.
Ministers who say
let a minister send us near
minister or to the field. And the attorney say, and the market say, Parliament, a more allowance for rent. And into President Catcher say, so we get rent allowance as a parliamentarian. You are not entitled to state accommodation as a minister. And you be number 2, allowances.
Fuel.
And then fuel in the
fuel no boy allowance. Who ministers no be omu gi fuel.
Desk no director be money. On so be fuel the same thing.
Allowance fuel no kra no. Yeah. Nkofo kra fuel coupon no mo gi a mo sa de akocheche mo na
Prof Uti sesi e wo ba mo na so ka
he's entitled to it
wo ba mo na so ka fuera shortwa na se me ska to be ma na me de ma we ni say asa
we one me was
na allowance ya okay allowance pa si etu allowance for ministers aha na me tiri say o kan sa because minim say me minister when you allowance bia
you may not know but bia allowance enti aketia ne pe na oje no allowance
aketia no wo free parliament you me minister we parliamentarian enti wo je aketia free parliament
enti wo je aketia ye minister or no onye parliamentarian
no dey different omo dey they are paid as ministers but ye parliamentarians dey so ye begum num 80% you know yenyi akatua bia apart from parliamentary enti adwuma na ye no more or less national service na de ewo mu abeya
national service because you opted for the semrane say so we MP now we minister uji anjega ubeji baako
yes uji baako
and then anybody who has occupied that seat and was a parliamentarian also the national service
in my personal circumstances me person make comments me fancy me koye minister me ankasa me will practice no na me dey me koye minister I have not added anything wo kom kromo me ka kire wo binim fura ka edi
na bosa na mo na mo ka
mo ba mo pa ya mo na mo ya mo hihye
enso mo ton mo japade ekodi post mo ton mo cars mo ton mo dan na hwan na service ben na opese osom ben na wo som a ese wo ton wo japade akosom
ba se wo sa national platform no dignity na the man ya na unquantifiable me ankasa as a lawyer na say me court me ko case bi me do judge no honorable about call his case first honor
that's why you have been very honest
I didn't deserve it because they were seniors but mama me sa honor no mama honor so say dem tiri so ahunu and say e ba sa so even advocacy no kra we no you are very confident that you have been recognized by the
whole judge of the court
and kra bro for kra ya na mu odi see otherwise what you have done so as unidentified identity platform national platform there my honor you will earn it and you will enjoy it sorry kra say honorable about near more kunyano akotrase enye honor
so I like what you said it gives you an unquantifiable
return
okay
so but pasika sempa de ubedru be hono no
na so kanya bad this
the sikasem no enye but me what practice no
na me obi mu amunya adwuma da kra pese o mo ye ministers
ebi mo ye
den national service you want to go and some
onye adwuma bia da o be the first paycheck ya ban adwuma appointment ya dem honorable wasem ya waken de wo de waken you see asma waken
honorable Tewe very fun Richard in Japan Facebook say honorable please you people are not doing national service I know national service persons are paid 559 to 900 cedis
when I say national service it's in quote actually you're expecting
yeah onokro kan we wasere aka ho
who be suma no aton wo japade na de abesom
Prof Uti
for national recognition
mo be ko baby unfortunately it's 11:40 am I tell you let's close
no ho me contest for SRC obi bi say say e dey benefit na menya in the position enye sika na me be die wo SRC office and enti answer to the question and say yes I expect to benefit from my position as SRC president but yes it is not because of your money na me so be catch the SRC na me no boa me in my life sika no na wo ka ho asem say to honum say 200 across no bia 10,000 sika no ka ho asem
that was then not now
me SRC no minya engagement from even American embassy my appointment be near there me first appointment me general America Pepsi International me call as student leader my recommendation go to
advert be no and any shell
yes I say go to Pepsi Ghana they will give you appointment because of me ko gina ho kasa e no ti o na ma yes as president come nya kwa
biti we no ntina obeton wo japade
japade na obeton
ya ko tia no de nya de be japade de ton ye prof how prof on ton wo japade
nko am for ton wo japade da bi men ton wo japade nkosom Over some.
Some no for so.
Over some.
Unquantifiable.
Oh, there be
value.
I did be sure. I did be I don't know.
You see, critical issue has been critical. And come on, back to us. Me sure say we do next week by now. No, it will still be a pending critical issue. About better say na ya to aso akante na dey any KJB on fansha fridge man na mo to aso na mo ni komo no e wo mensa benkum so Professor Ransford Jampo from the University of Ghana Political Science Department, now a very good friend of Despite Media, a friend and a junior Dukra obeba o say ya say amuni me na you am say prof, you are part of us. Oh, you're a very good friend too. Because Prof with their formulation, you need a silipa. You do a person to be as a Prof Brami in silipe. Now a banty, a tembia and nisopa. And Honorable Andy Apia Kubia Santia Chem North and Rashebe Jenny. And Sherandi and Nijaji was say any honorable name member of Parliament.
I'm to Abagu, ice kinky bottles.
Oh, you hadn't come. What's it?
Ice cream ready, cockra.
Would also a researcher.
Omoji ice cream.
As a researcher,
ice cream. No more ice cream. I'm not ice cream. Ice chest in a room.
And he still won.
I don't expect this from a researcher.
My good friend still won. Or a lawyer, so and he's also a good friend of Despite Media. And need for
except that you didn't. You don't invite me as much as you invite Prof.
Oh, my good friend. Send me to me ma Asante Achimnintia. And she says, "I'm baby. I'll be inviting you."
Now that you have redeemed yourself,
I will be inviting you more. And you know, a bonko second term, MP, and now deputy minister, Prof Medici Honum no, Reels, or deputy minister.
Not me.
I saw an idiot. Now you're dissolving. Oh, you're hopeful.
Oh, please.
I am ministerial hopeful.
Don't put any pressure on my president. He has enough stress.
Honorable Andy Apia could be honorable said that papa very short notice. Now so JP and I make no. If you been done your friend or more, my busy me home me come constituency.
Would you drop this argument? I'm here to represent all of them. Na mufanchen ya na say nipa tun so mo ntumi ama Dr. Eric Odro side your choyen krata say opayencha no pay ya bibia bebom putu press woko na honorable Amenfi Central Peter Yaukwachi akade ya antene kan konti a wantimi ama na so no so no a oje pene se obeba omo so side no sa ye pem to no so last minute eni nya no ena okase obeba bata no pe wantimi ama maybe bibi na esi ne kwan nti enye ebo apayo yeda mo ase na so wo ye cherished viewer aye ni hu agro ye ni so pa said that da wo fidie ni da United Television. It's all about you nti afi so ye bekoso asom osompa information education na entertainment so e ka ho nti ene kra United Showbiz so ye betena se ye de bebro ewo enije mu ene okwampa so na mini miku no yeda mo ase papa pa why no Somebody take
Oh, I will read it. It is not intentional, Pacho. Why? Any pakra will send this message, you know, and you're intentional. Enti yeda mu nyina mu asemi din de yakra. Ma metina mu ma regular host a few kia vim lady nyame ya domo a next week wu hu no if say cover US Biden inaugural ceremony wu kwada na amaye enti o cover we are the following week no obeba abeji na dwa. Enti enene next week the only me betina na the following week no obeba American girl
if you watch it
o chele pa wo ye adwuma so
covid so
o wo twen hu ye pa o ye adwuma enti ene team no ya dam ase ye wono da foforo